first time I think that conference of this type has been organized, and really a very great effort by the organizers, because you bring in all, on one side the material manufacturers, the other side the users, and of course in between the equipment manufacturers who help them process this into the processable components which are required in the tire. Definitely a wonderful, I would say, uh, a wonderful initiative by Tyre. The ability or the interaction that we are having with different suppliers, which allows us to also discuss with them the possible developments each of us can take separately on their own, but also in collaboration with what they have probably partially done. Yeah, definitely. This such conferences, we should find more opportunity that we are able to have more such interactions and bring it together.
I feel very comfortable to participate in the conference. This is my first time to come to India, and the hosts are very kind to me. The hall itself is very quite comfortable for me to participate in. The contents in the conference focusing on the green and sustainable topic. So I'm not sure I contributed in the conference, but everyone speaks a lot about how they can contribute to the world and the green, sustainable material. So that sounds very how can I say? That sounds very advancing for the world and this industry.
First of all, congratulations to the organizers, because I think it's the first of its kind, and I'm glad that it's starting with a supply chain. The tire industry is very important in India, but we start with raw material, which is the first step of the tire making process. Coming together in this forum, I think it's very nice. It's also very crisp because it's only one day, and it has a mix of business as well as business perspective and a technical perspective. So with presentations as well as panel discussion, I think it's very well balanced, and it's short, crisp, and effective. Yeah, I think the tire industry in India definitely deserves at least once a year something like this, because we had of course a IRI organized one, but that's once in 2 years. So at least once in a year, the industry must get together. We're looking at legislation, we're looking at innovation, we are looking at technology, we are looking at quality. So I think there's a number of topics on which we can drive a consensus and understand what the end customer wants and how should we move. So it's really worthwhile for us to meet.
So overall, I think this time the conference was pretty good, well organized, and within the shortest possible time, I would say within a day's time, I would say, covering this many subjects, this many topics, end to end of material sustainability is definitely a commendable achievement, I would say. Yeah, see, the conferences are the places where you are, bringing a lot of diverse talent together in one place, So that is where lot of creative discussions happens, and many things are becoming productive there only. So conferences are very, very important.
Yeah, it was a wonderful conference, and I'm seeing this conference as a connecting link between the innovation side and the raw material requirement side. And truly this conference is addressing how that innovation is shaping the raw material requirement, and more focused on how the industry could reach the net zero target, which individually countries are achieving either by 2030, 2050 or even 2070. Yeah, this is of course a connecting link to the tire industry to look how the innovation could be strategically defined and bring that from the point of view of implementation. As implementation is happening, the industry can achieve what the industry is targeted from an environmental point of view or a carbon reduction point of view.
As a first time, this conference is really a very good platform to meet all the vendors and all the tire fraternities together, and we have all good discussions online or whatever good in contents we are seeing from the presentations, all these things are really good. And this kind of forums are really good to interact with more and more people. So now there are tire industries being faced by a lot of challenges with respect to performance and or regulations or sustainability kind of new initiatives required to be from the whole supply chain. We need to have some understanding how others are doing. So these kind of forums helps us or vendors how to move ahead and look into one direction.
This conference is very well organized, and this is my first time I am attending this conference, but the thought process behind this conference is very good, and all the different parts of the sustainability towards today, which is very important, has been covered, starting from the material, starting from the taking to the processability, and the different type of raw materials which are being discussed, and the panel discussion which is also been you have planned in this. They're all well planned, that I can tell, and to me it is a very good kind of take home for me. See, today's world is something like that where you cannot do anything alone, right? You have to do some kind of collaboration, and where you have to go for the collaboration with the university and institute. They are basically source of different resources. So that is the reason it is very important. And with this conference, there you have brought one speaker who is from the IIT Delhi and the professor. And this kind of interactions, if it is more with these universities, institutes, and this forum is also a good place where these people can come more and more, and they can share their basic thought process, because this thought process will help the industry to take it to a further leapfrog, right? So that is my take home from this.
So it's a nice conference, and especially about the technology, about the raw materials, about the innovations. It's very informative, and we are a zinc oxide manufacturer continuously expanding, and we also get to know what developments the tire industry is doing regarding the use of our product. So it's very, very informative, and good speakers and good topics chosen. So very well done. So obviously, since you have concentrated on the raw materials, so it is good for the raw materials, because in most of the conferences, obviously, it is about the tire industry, how they are doing it, the sustainability part and everything. So being concentrated on the raw materials, it's a very good platform for us to know about the take of the tire industry, to meet our fellow colleagues in the industry, and get to know what all is happening around. So I would say would encourage more such conferences in a year to get to know about all this. Thank you.
Yeah, the conference this year was more focusing on the recycling materials, and it was very interesting to see all those companies from India and some in Asia, to see all the technologies that they deploy and how recycling and the aim, how they want to close the loop, is clearly a strong central part of the discussion now. As we are based in Europe and the USA, it's also very interesting for us to come here and to create link and to develop cross-cultural initiative, and to understand how India works and how close we are in this circular economy.